Hi guys, this Java NetBeans object-oriented of inventory management system. So let me show you guys how it works. If I click on reset, there we go, everything is gone. If I click on click on rice there, I can enter how many bags of rice I want, and in there, here as well, let's go for wine, vodka, 45 of those, and whiskey, 6 of those, tea, maybe 1, coffee, 5, and water, maybe 65, and so on. So all I then need to do is to click on total there. So what I'm going to do now is take you guys straight into Java NetBeans development environment. I will put one of these together, guys. So let's do that now. Hi and welcome to Java NetBeans object-oriented inventory management system. I'm going to start by clicking on File, select New Project. Alright, now let's select Java and make sure Java application is selected. Click on Next, and then let's give that project a name. In there, I'm just going to enter OO underscore inventory. It's OO underscore inventory. Okay, I'm going to uncheck the create main class and click on finish. Alright, my project file is ready. Let's right click on it, then select new JFrame right there, and then let's give our project a name. I'm going to call it OO underscore inventories with an S. Copy that and enter inventory system there. Alright, so let's click on finish. Now that my form is ready, select the form, right click and select set layer, and let's change the layer to absolute layer. There we go, the system is now absolute layer. You can see the blue around the form itself. Now let's come into the project, or the property actually. Let's select the property here, and in there let's go to codes, then generate. Let's select center, and in here I'm going to change that to 1400 by 700 there. The next thing I want to do is to come straight to the palette here. Let's select panel, J panel, and just paste it right there. That will be for my title. Select the property and change the appearance of this panel. Let's come straight to the properties, and the border, no, the back color, let's change the back color to black. Let's set that to black. Right, and just drag it down much. Okay, let's change the border. I don't like the color of the edge. Let's change the border of that to black as well. Border. Okay, says no border. Okay, I'm going to change the border. Let's change the color to something lighter and make it about 8, and click on OK. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, maybe a little bit darker. Let's come back in there. Let's come to the border there, color, right, a little bit darker. Click on OK. Alright, that's much better. Okay, the next thing I want to do is let me grab another panel. Let's paste that in here and change the property, the border style of that panel. I'm going to make that line, make that 4, and the border color, I'm going to go for these as well. Click on OK, and there we go. Just drag it down much. Yeah, and let's copy that and paste it in there. Drag it here. Yeah, that's fine. Bring it down. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is to add more components here. Let's come in for checkbox, one here. Let's change the details of that checkbox to approximately, let's go for maybe 20 bold, 20, okay, 24 bold. Alright, then let's grab text field, one text field here, and change this one to 24 as well, 24 bold there. Okay, so in here, let me just right click on this very plain and change it to absolutely, and the same thing for this as well. Copy that and paste them in here. Alright, yeah, change this to absolutely as well. Where is it? Absolute, there we go. Okay, now copy and paste, drag. We need about 5 of those. There's 2 here. Yeah, one more. Okay, the same thing here. Copy, paste, paste. Alright, let's come right down a little bit. Okay, we're going to now need one combo box here. No, we need plain. Let's get a plain on board. Yeah, just increase the border style of that border. Maybe we go for 8 and just change the color. Yeah, let's go for 8 for these ones as well. Make that 8. Yeah. And right in here, I'm going to need labels. Let's grab a label. Need one here. And I also need, yeah, I can just copy this, copy, and dump it right there, bring it down. This very label, let's change the property to 24 as well, 24 bold. Right. Now, this plain, so that I can range it properly, let's set the layer to absolute. Okay, that one is gone. Let's grab another one there, paste it in there. Okay, now the next thing is I'm going to need some buttons. Let's grab a button right here, one here, and these, we actually need more of these though. Copy it, just paste it in. Copy that, paste there. Let's copy this button, or change the property of this button first, then we can copy and paste. Right. Okay, now let's grab one label here, copy a label and just dump it up here. Yeah, that's the label there. Let's change the border style of that very label. Border. There we go. I'm going to make that maybe 8 and come right in here and change that to that. There we go. That's fine. And the content, not that. Text. Let's change the text to about 60 there, and this, let's change this to absolute as well. Right, and the text property of that label, I'm going to change that to, let's come in here, yeah, that's fine, and then Let's align center, horizontal align. Let's get it centered. And I'm going to enter object oriented inventory system. There we go. Yeah. Now let's run it and see. Compile and run. Before I can run it, maybe we should come straight to the run property here, or dialog box. Set main project. So let's look for it. There we go. OO inventory. Yeah. So I can now verify that it's selected anyway. Yeah, it is selected. You can see it. So I can now directly run it. Here, running it for the very first time. Click on OK. Okay, this is how it looks, but I haven't finished with the design yet. So what I'm going to do now is let's do one or two things and just speed up the whole design. Okay, I'm going to exit, come back in here, and here the buttons. Yeah, and in here I'm going to have a label. Let's copy one label, copy and paste, drag it here. So right down in here I'm going to need an image. Right, let's go to the properties and come to icon, select that. Let me grab an image here, and right here I have my icon. Let's select it all. I think maybe I can set it for one of these, maybe this one. Right, that's fine. And there we go. I need to delete the text content in there. Get rid of that. Okay, that's my logo there. Let's copy it and paste it somewhere. It's another one here. And now let's change the back color of this let's change it to black. Right, let's come. The first thing, I'm going to change all of this. Yeah, okay. Hopefully I should know where they are. Properties, back color, make that black. Right, I'm going to have all of these here. Let's change the text content to grayish. Font color, gray. Right. Font color here. Okay, let's change the names then. This will be, you can right click and just change that to tax. And this is subtotal, and here we have total. Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just to speed up the design of the whole system, then I'll get back to you guys. Okay guys, the interface is now ready, so if I run it, this is what you guys will see. Yeah, this is what you see. Now move the logo up, and that's how everything looks like. But none of these buttons do anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to exit out, and right here we can go straight into the project here and just right click in here and add new, create a class right in there. I'm going to call that class I quit, and there. So let's click on finish. Now when we look in there, that's the class in there. Okay, right here where we have I quit, okay, you enter as follows. I can always go to my previous program and just copy it right there. That's the exit. So come in here, paste that in there, and just click on OK. Now in here, this message box would like to import the JString and JFrame, then the JString option as well. So click on OK, accept that. Now let me show you guys the lines of code. Those are the lines of codes. Alright, we have one single error there, so I believe because I have 1, 2. Okay, so I think there should be one more, I think. So let's come right in here and add one more there. Yeah, that's it. The error is gone because I have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 3 curly braces. So I should also have 3. Alright, 3 closing curly braces. And that is those are the lines of code for my exit. So what's going on here is if the option shown, if I then end up selecting true, yes, then exit. So let's change this. Let's change this to inventory management system. There we go. I will now call this. So let's come in here and go straight into our system here. Right in here, right click on the exit, go to event, add action, action perform, and right inside action perform, let's try that again. Right inside action perform, I'm going to declare the following. Let's create an object, I exit, and let's say C exit. That's the name of my object. Object C exit equals new I quit. There. Now let's say C exit dot quit, this very one. Okay, there we go. It's actually calling the quit in here, this one. Alright, that's the one I've just called, and that's my exit in there, and that's the class that I've just called here. If the option selected is yes, then the system should exit. Alright, so let's come into our program here and just run it and see. There we go. So let's try out the exit. There we go, guys. Can you see that? Inventory management system, confirm if you want to exit. Nope. And confirm if you want to exit. Yes, there we go. Right. So borrowing that code make that easy. Now the next thing we want to do is I'm going to create another class. This other class, I'm going to use that to carry out the tax calculation. So let's go back in here. Let's right click here and create another class, new Java class, and let me call that, I'm just going to call that C-tax or IC-tax. IC-tax, yeah, that's it. And just click on finish. So I can also just copy my tax variable that I used earlier inside one of the class. Where is it? There we go. Look at it. You can just come right down here. That's it. I used it earlier. I can just copy it from here down here. So right here, that is the field, or you can call that the data member, and here that is my method. So I'm just going to copy that, paste it inside my IC tags here. There we go, guys. This is called code reusability. That makes life easy for me. So I'll be using this to work out my tags. Okay, now let's take care of another very simple problem here. Let's come into the design, and here the reset. Let's take care of the reset. I'm going to right click on the reset. However, I will not be using the other method. I'll be using a for loop. So the first thing I will do is I'm going to declare, let's say J, that will be J text field. Let me call that clear text equals nothing there. Then let's use a for loop for the components. That will be the components within the panel that I'll be referring to, the J panel. Let's say J panel. So let's see this panel. This one is panel what? That's panel 3 and panel 2. Okay, I want to call all of these text box. So panel 2 dots get components. There we go, components. Alright, and enter a curly bracket there, the components now. So let's say if c dot get class dot to string dot contains that should be dot contains, that will be, let's go for Java dot swing dot J text field, then enter another curly braces. Now I now want clear text, this very one, clear text equals J text field. That is C. Clear text dot set text. Let's set the text, all of the text content, set them to 0. Okay, I'm going to take advantage of that as well. So clear text dot set enable equals false. So that is for my clear. Right, take a good look at this. So if I click on this button, what will happen is there will be zeros in there and it will disable the text box. Let's take a good look at the text box. So if I run it now, look at all my text box, there's nothing in there. Officially when it starts running, I want some text in it. So the one I refer to is in panel, oh, did I say panel 1? That is wrong. So close that. That should have been panel 2 or panel 3. Okay, let me just run it now, because panel 1 is the one with the title. That's panel 1, that's 2 or 3. So if I click on this, look at what happened. It actually disables and populates it with zeros. So that's how I want my system to be. So I will only be able to enable it with this very button, with this checkbox. So now for panel, that's panel 2. Okay, then let me copy this for panel 3. Copy, and let's put a break there. This is for panel 3. As you can see, I did not bother to declare the JText field anymore because it's already there. So if I run it now and click on the reset button, you see what happened? So that's easier than using this method. Look at the method I'm talking of. JTXE, let's say ram dot set text and that. You see, it's easier. This is easier because I do have a lot of them to go through. So I've only written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of code to take care of all that. Alright, so and I would like the same thing to be repeated with all of this checkbox. So I want them unchecked. So to do that, I'm going to copy all of these, copy it up to there. Let's just enter a line there so that there's no error. So paste that in there. Okay, now instead of, let's go back in there right here. Instead of where is it? So this will be known as J checkbox. Right, J checkbox. Let me give the name. Let's just call it that's the name. I'm gonna copy this and paste it here. And here as well. Here. But in this case, this becomes a checkbox. Copy changes to checkbox. Right. But I don't want this. That's panel 2. Okay, let me copy this for panel 3 then. Instead of changing it, let's paste this there for panel 3. That's panel 3 here. Now what I want to change in here, that is supposed to be dot sets. So let's get rid of this. I don't really need this anymore. So that's just going to be CSL dot set selected equals false. There we go. And just copy this, paste it here for this. That's all. That should take care of my resets. And if that works as expected, I'm going to copy it for the form load really. Okay, now come in here, run the program and click on this. There we go, guys. Look at that. Supposing all of these are checked, let's see what's going to happen now. If they are checked and you want to reset the system, let's click on that. Okay, let's run it again. Oh, there's an error there somewhere. Okay, yeah, I think this is the error. This is supposed to be J checkbox. Alright, let's get that rectified. Yep, paste that in there, paste that there as well. Alright, let's refresh and run. Now let's check all of these. Yeah, and you guys will see what will happen now. So when I click on reset, there we go. You see that? So that makes life easy for me. Instead of writing long lines of code, I've just copy and paste. So I'm going to copy all of these. Let's copy them. I think here up to there. Copy, Control C, and now let's go straight on to the form. Right click on the form, let's select event, window activate, right in here inside window activate. So when I click on run, that's what's going to happen. So if I run it now, compile first before running it, and there we go. You see the system is disabled, so we can only enable it with this by clicking on any of these buttons. Alright, that's how easy that one is. Have a good look at these lines of code. It's very handy. You might need it. Okay, it's the same line of code anyway. There might be another easiest way, but this is still useful. Okay, what I intend to achieve is when I click on any of these checkbox, I want to be able to enable all of this. So what I'm going to do is, let's exit and go into each individual components. Alright, so let's right click on and select events, action perform. Okay, right in here, let's delete all this, and what we will do is, using an if statement, if this dot is selected, enter curly braces there. What I would like you to do is, if it's selected, then jtxt, that will be for rise dot set text. Let's make that clear. We want it clear. Okay, and we also want it jtxt, we want it enabled as well. Dot set enabled, let's make that true. Then the other one is jtxt rise dot request, so that'll be request focus. Alright, let's reposition this, or rearrange this. I mean, have this on top and there. Else, let's calm down. Else, we want this to happen. This too. Okay, that becomes 0 and this becomes false. Okay, so let's try out this very first one and we take it from there. So run that. Okay, click on rise. There, that enables it, so we can then enter whatever we like in there. Or you see that we shouldn't be able to enter any other character apart from numbers, so we do have a problem there as well. So if I uncheck, there we go, check, uncheck. Right, that's good. So as you can see, we are able to enter any other character in there, which is not acceptable. So let's come back here and I'm going to exit. Come right in here, right click on this and let's go to event and key, then let's say key type. So the only key type that I want there should be just numbers. So try that again. So right in here, get rid of this. And there we go. There. So we now need to import that which we've already done. Okay. So if I try that again, so let's run it again. As you can see, I can enter numbers, but I cannot enter any other character. Let's clear it, enable, get my keyboard so that you guys see that. Come right in there and try to enter every other character. Impossible, but I can enter numbers. Okay, that's the purpose of that line of code. That's fine. Alright, So I'm going to have to repeat the same thing for all of these. Right click, event, action, and that will be the key type. Just come in there, paste that. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for that. But next thing, let's finish up with this very one. So this one is about changing the position of each component. So right click and come in here, action, and come on, right click, action, perform. There we go. So this one also is going to be if jchk celerin dot is selected curly braces, and I want jtxt celerin set enable equals true. And I also want it to clear the text content. Dot set text equals clear. Then finally jtxt celery dot request focus. Let's look for it. Dot request focus. There we go. Else jtxt enable becomes false, and change the text content to 0. Enable becomes false. Right, I guess you guys get the whole idea. So I'm going to now speed that up. Okay, you see that we cannot enter any other values more than characters in there, other numbers in there. The same thing here. Uncheck. Oh, let's give this a try. There we go. Alright, that's cool. So I'm just gonna speed that up, then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, I've finished taking care of all of the check boxes. So all that we left to do now is to prevent the JText field from accepting just anyhow character. Alright, I've taken care of these two. These two will not accept anyhow character, as you can see earlier. Let me show it to you now. You see, if I use this to enter any character in there, let's do that again. Look at that, nothing is happening. But in here, I can enter whatever character I want. So let me show you guys the data in here. So let's come in and go to the design view and right click on the text field, go to key and press, and then we go to key type. Inside the key type, those are the lines of code. But instead of entering these lines of code in each of them, what I want to do is I'm going to just copy this. I'm going to copy all of these. Let's copy it. Yeah. And I will now go inside my IC tags class. Right underneath here, I'm going to paste that in there. Yeah. But it's now asking me to import the following key events. I'm going to say okay, let's accept that. So let's give it a name. I'll clear this and let's just call it clear text. That's the name. Right, this is the one I will call instead of entering these lines of coding on each of them. Okay, but the most important bit is I will have to now create an object. So let's come in here. I'm going to delete all of these now because I don't need it anymore. Delete that. Let's create an object in there. So the objects that I'm creating is here. That's IC tags. IC tags, let's say clear T equals new IC tags there. So once I now come in here, that should be capital T. Once I copy the clear, all I just need to do is the object that's created called clear T dot, I need a name. So what is the name? It's not that. So what is the name? Let's go back in there. This is supposed to be the name. So it is not showing. Now let's go back into IC tags. Yeah, this is supposed to be public. It's private. So let's change it to public. That's a lesson to be learned there. That should be public. So let's go back in there. Clear T dot, there we go. That's it, clear. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to just copy these 2 lines of code since I've already declared it. Now come right into my design view, this very one. Now right click, go to key type, and I'm going to now delete all of these. I don't need that anymore. Alright, delete that and just paste this in there. Okay, so let's keep that a run and you guys see what I'm talking about. So now let's select the visual key and right in here enable the rice field there and just click. You see that there's nothing happening. It's not accepting any character anymore. So but if I enter 1 and so on, you see that is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna now close that. Right, and I'll log off and repeat the same thing for the others. We need to repeat the same thing for this as well. Okay, so let's come in here, log off, yes, and that's the right click, event. The event we want is a key type event, and just paste that one in there. Where is it? There we go. That's it. There. The next one is onions. No, key type. Come on. That's onion there. Paste. And let's repeat the same thing for the coriander. Come right here. And there we go. Yeah. So I will now speed up the rest and get back to you guys. Alright guys, I've finished up with the setting the object and the property of the object on each of those text box really. So here are the lines of codes if you want to have a look. There they are. Okay, those are the lines of codes. So if I run it now, as you can see, we can only enter just text. Right. Okay guys, there we go. If I click on this, we cannot enter anything, or maybe this, only numbers. Okay, let's close that and move on. So what I'm going to do now is to take care of the total. So let's come into the property here and right click here on the project package itself and go to new Java class. So the name of this class, I'm just going to call it C inventory price underscore price. Yeah, that's it. That's the name of my next class. So click on finish. Now that the class is ready, all I'm going to do is let's define the price for each of the items we have on board. So I'm going to make them public anyway. So let's say public double. Let's go for the carrots. Then the next one, let's go for public double. We have Jane as well. So let's just have Jane here, and let's speed this up and I'll get back to you guys. There we go. I now have all my fields in place, or you can call it data type, all of them in place. So the next one, let me enter one more for my to store the value of everything. Public, let's say item total. No, that's double as well. Is that in there? Right. Now let's create a method to add up everything we have in here. So let's come right down here and enter that. So what we want to do is let's call our method get amount, and that is the method there. So in there we're going to have to return whatever the value is. Okay, and what we want to return is going to be this there. Okay, right in here I'm going to add up everything there. So that is equals, let's say the very first one was the very first one, carrot, and here paste that. Okay, then we also have celery plus celery. Okay, then we have plus Jane. Okay, I believe you guys get the whole idea. I'm going to now speed that up so that we can move on. Plus maybe 1. Okay guys, I've finished with the fields or the data type for each of the items. There they are. Okay, I've actually grouped them properly. Right, that's much better according to how it is on the design itself. So, and I've now added them all up in here. That's where the value of each is stored, and in here get amount. So you add all of these together, stored in the item 1, item 2 for the next one, 3 for the following one, and 4. Then all of them are then added together and returned here into item total. Okay, so instead of item total 1, maybe okay, that's fine the way it is, item total. Yeah. Okay, now one more thing. I'm going to now copy all of these variables copy each of them. Let's copy them and let's create one that we will call price. There, it's all copied now. So maybe we create a different class or just add that underneath here somewhere. Okay, we just add that here. So that means there will be another field here. There we go. They'll give you an error right now. So what I'm going to do is for each field or for each data member, I will then change the name to P. P, that's the price of rice, equals, let's say 5.6. Right, so we just add a P to each. A salary, maybe 1 point something. Then there's a P in each of them, which denote price. Right. That makes life easy. Okay, now price for each of them. I'll just maybe speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay, I'll finish up with the price for each item, which include drinks and so on. So now let's go into total. So that means we have to create this very object there. That's the object. We need to create the object price. Now let's come right down here, total, come in here, right click, event, action, perform, right in there, create an object, and this object, let's give it cost of item, there, equals new, and there we go. There, that's my object created. Okay, the other thing is I'm going to have to create another class here, another object actually. So that is C tags, let's say item tags, equals new IC tags. There. Now let's create one more. Okay, this time around that's going to be an array to hold everything. So I'm going to call that array cost equals new, that will be double, and let's allocate about 22 there. That's fine. So the next thing is the very first cost for each of them, because I have 20 items in total. If you look in here, we have them in, that's 5, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, that's 20. So let's go back into the code. Alright, let's carry out the calculation now. Cost of item dot rice, okay, equals cost of item dot price of rice, which is this. Right, let's multiply that by whatever is entered into or onto the text area of rice. So that becomes txt rice dot get get text there and enter parentheses there. So that's the cost of the very first one. And the next one, that will be, let's see, celery. Then we have, after celery we have carrots. So I'm going to copy that, paste that in there. So this is going to be dot celery, and here that will be dot pc. That is supposed to be dot pc, that's for celery, and this one becomes celery. Yeah, that is that. Next one, that's carrot, dot carrot. There we go. And this becomes carrot as well, the price of carrot, and this become carrot. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So what I will do now is I'm going to speed it all up and I'll get back to you guys. Okay guys, I've finished up with the coding for the price. Alright, that's it. That's how it looks like in total. But there's something I just realized. I don't need this. I'm not going to need the array, because right in here I've already carried out the calculation. Here we go, right in there. That is it. All I just need to call is get amount. So let's go back in here. So instead of this, I'm just going to change that to 3 different let's say tax cost. Okay, there we have subtotal. And finally we have total. So I'm just going to change that to I total, I subtotal, I tax cost. Now let's say I subtotal. Copy that. I subtotal, paste that here. I subtotal equals cost of item, paste that in there, dot get amount. That's all I need to do instead of the array. So every single addition here, or every single value that is added, is now in here. Okay, now let's take care of the tax. So let's say I tax cost. Is it something like that? Let's see if I'm right. Well, let's just take this off. Let's call it I tax. I tax itself. So equals whatever the object that I called here, or the object is called item tax. Let's copy that. Equals item tax dot, and let's see, that is the tax. C find tax, and what tax are we looking for? We're looking for subtotal, the value inside subtotal right there, and close that. So to work out the total, all we then need to do is I total equals subtotal, which is VR1, plus I tax. That's all there is to it. Yeah, it is finished now. Now all they need to do is enter every single value in here. Now I need to enter it right in here. Okay, let's see their name individually. Alright, it's in txt, so let's go back in there. Okay, let's assign everything in here into the text box of the tags, subtotal and total. So we'll move that up a little bit. So the first thing I'll do to achieve that is to declare a string variable. This one is going to be known as tags for the tags. So equals string dot format and I would like it to be formatted into £, and let's add 2 decimal places just in case, and the argument this time around is going to be what? itags there, and that will be assigned to txt tags dot set text equals tags. Right, so the first one is taken care of. Might as well just copy and paste for the second one and just change it around. Now this one is going to be subtotal. So subtotal there. Just copy this, paste it here, and that's for the subtotal as well. This is in lowercase t, and here that becomes I subtotal, lowercase t as well. Right, that is that done. And finally we want the total. Take that off. I total here and total here, then this one will be total. There we go guys, and that's all there is to it. So the calculation, everything is now in here. So if I run it now, let me show you the calculation code for the total. Take it from here, now moving it up. There we go, and that's all there is to it. So let's compile and run. Now let's run it. Still compiling. Okay, the system is finished compiling. Now run it and see. And there we go guys. So let's say we want 3 bags of rice, celery, carrots, maybe 7 of those, onions, 2 bags, coriander 1, okay, gin, let's get drunk, rum, wine, let's say 10 of those, vodka, whiskey. Now coffee, we don't like coffee that much, we don't like Coke neither. Oh, we don't like tea that much. Okay, tea is fine. Tea is fine. Coffee, let's go for 4 of those. Orange juice, okay, that's cool. Water, alright, we need about maybe 20 of those. What about milk? It's good for you too. Yeah, let's just get spoiled. And that's it guys. So all we just need to do now is click on the total. Now come into total. There we go. So the cost of everything is now £657 plus, and that is how you create your own object-oriented inventory system in Java NetBeans. So with that guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you enjoy it.